My God, this is so hot. You guys always sit on these seats? No.
Oh yeah, those are different.
I sat down and hurt myself. We're not in charge. Remember, this is the real meeting.
That's what Kyle like.
There's too much quick on everybody.
Not great, not
What do you say? Because I'm not hard.
Who is the designer? Like one of them that's the part that's really good. And then whoever this is, you can talk to her, but no, she's not going to talk to her.
Everybody should be there.
I'm telling you, I feel like I'm being punished over here.
I'm sure you know.
These chairs, they make me feel...
I'm sure enough. I feel like I'm doing it.
You're a natural. I told you that.
I need to call it chair, Madam Clerk.
Come on.
Oh, Frank, I was going to call you. I'm wondering why you were late.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
There being 6 board members present, I declare a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda, I'd like to ask our school board attorney to administer the oath of office to our newly elected officials. Trustee Cavallari and Trustee Farrell.
I say you.
Solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of trustee of the Board of Education
Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
I, Patricia Farrell,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of trustee of the Board of Education
of trustee of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay. Are there any nominations for president of the board for the 2023-2024 school year?
I move Jennifer O'Leary as president.
Second.
Second.
Are there any other nominations for president? Nominations for president are now closed. There being no further nominations, all those in favor?
Madam Clerk, does trustee Valeria Sons, do you accept to be the president?
I do. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
I'm flattered.
Now we can go.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anything on the question? And are you willing to serve?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Oliveri is unanimously elected President of the Board of Education for the 2023-2024 school year.
I state your name.
I, Jennifer Oliveri,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of President of the Board of Education
of
according to the best of my ability. Oh! That was fast.
Get on the hot seat.
They didn't give me a second. I forgot this from last year. Thanks, everybody. Okay. All right, now we will take nominations for Vice President. Any nominations for Vice President?
I nominate Joanna Cavallari as Vice President.
Second.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, on the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Trustee Cavallari is Vice President. Yep. And then he has to move. You have to move. Over.
state your name.
I, Gerardo Cavallari,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Vice President of the Board of Education
of Vice President of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is electing and appointing the alternate vice president. I actually would like to nominate Patty Farrell if we're going to go for a repeat of last year. Do you accept? I mean, well, I move Patty Farrell as alternate vice president.
Second.
In a second. Any other nominations for alternate vice president? None? Do you accept?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Patty, alternate vice president.
I, Patricia Farrell,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of alternate Vice President of the Board of Education
of alternate Vice President of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
Madam President, can I hear Commissioner Crawford for sharing it?
Please.
I state your name.
I, Judy Laraca,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the
starting in
I,
2020.
Mary Ann,
We're so weird.
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of District Clerk
of District Clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay. Item number 6, appoint by vote the district clerk, treasurer, and attorney. And we've already done the oath of office. Thank you, Chris. So we're appointing Mary Ann Rosamilia as the district clerk, as a salary listed. The treasurer, Brian Cleary, as listed. Christopher Shishko and Guercio as attorneys, as listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
No.
Okay. So he's opposed. I am going to now poll the board.
Madam President, are you opposed to A, B, and C, or there's one in particular, trustee Vanelli?
B, treasurer.
Okay.
Do you want to split the vote? Because they vote separately on all three?
No, just treasurer. I'm fine with A and B, A and C. The treasurer, should I comment or no?
Should
I think
we,
you just have to split it then.
So then I'll-
vote individually.
I'll do them separately. So 6A, district clerk. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, A. 6B, treasurer. All those in favor?
No.
Opposed? Okay. Now we need to poll, correct? Okay. Trustee Farrell?
Yes.
Trustee Vicente?
Yes.
Can I ask a question of his concerns?
Wait, yeah,
Question?
on the
Can you
question.
put your mic on? Thank
Can we
you.
have an on the question prior to the vote?
I did say on the question,
All right.
nobody said anything.
I apologize, I didn't hear the on the
Yeah,
question.
neither did I.
Okay.
This is a personnel matter. I'm recommending if there's a discussion. If there's a discussion of a matter leading to the appointment of a particular person, I believe it should be an executive session.
Okay, that's all.
Do you think you can have your questions answered, not in executive?
No, this, vote.
Okay. Trustee Farrell?
Yes.
Trustee Vicente?
Yes.
Vice President Cavallari?
Yes.
Trustee Vanelli?
No. Can I make an explanation?
Yes, you may.
I actually got it confirmed by the independent auditor a year or two ago by D'Arcangelo. That's our independent auditor, but it also holds for the claims adjuster and this gentleman, Brian Cleary, the treasurer, that typically an organization really should change these positions after like 3 years. And, you know, when I asked him, you know, your company's been running for like 10 years or 9 years as the auditor, he confirmed it because, you know, it's general practice that you don't have the same, because it gets too close to the organization itself. And that's why I'm voting no, that we should get someone new after 3 years.
Thank you. Trustee Capozio?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm also a yes.
But,
Oh,
This is the second.
yeah, I believe this is only his second year. This would be his second year.
He was only nominated last year.
Last
For
year.
the first time.
Right.
I thought he was in there, we're talking about the treasurer.
we're talking
Yes.
about the treasurer, Brian Cleary.
Yes.
6B.
Yeah, that's not on my understanding.
Can I get
My
it?
understanding is he
We
was
can get
voting.
clarification on that. However, 6B does pass based on the vote.
Yeah, I'm just like to clarify, I think he's only here.
He's not part of the others.
6C, attorneys, Patty?
Yes.
Milagros?
Yes.
Vice President Cavallari?
Yes.
Trustee Vanelli?
Yes.
Trustee Capozio?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 7, appointment of an alternate district clerk. Trustee Capozio, I would like to relieve you of your duties and appoint newly elected trustee Grosso to this lovely little ritual that we have. Authority to sign checks. I would like to appoint, obviously, myself and Gerardo, would you be available
Yes.
in my absence? Wonderful. Committees.
Number 9.
Did I do them? Oh,
Number 9.
it's just an appointment. I don't believe we vote on them.
So you should be 7, 8, and 9. I'm
Oh.
sorry, 7 and 8 should be voted on.
Okay, so to appoint trustee Grasso as the district clerk to serve during absence of the district clerk. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Authority to sign checks, myself and Vice President Cavallari. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Oh, number 9, sorry, guys. Members to the high school board. The seat of Milagros, do we have any?
I nominate Milagros Vicente for the seat of Milagros Vicente to the high school.
Second.
Any other nominations?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate myself, actually. I'd like to be on the high school board.
Okay. Do I get a second? Oh,
Take the
you
vote
don't-
in order.
Oh, okay. So, we don't do that, so we're going to take a vote on the order they were done. So Milagros for Milagros' seat. Patty?
Yes.
Milagros?
Yes.
Gerardo?
Yes.
Anthony?
So how does that work?
We're voting yes or no for Milagros' seat, and then I'm going to ask, call your name for Milagros' seat, and we're going to vote on it.
Gotcha. So would that be yes?
You're voting yes for Milagros on
That would make
Milagros'
sense
seat?
if I'm in competition for the same seat.
Exactly.
Right, so I'd say no.
Okay, and Vinny? And I am also a yes. So, do we vote on that now, or?
No,
Okay,
because
it's an appointment.
Milagros was already appointed by majority vote.
Okay. So Milagros is back in Milagros' seat on the high school. Thank you, Milagros. You accept?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Okay, B, the seat of Gerardo Cavallari on the high school board.
I nominate and move for Gerardo Cavallari to be a member of the high school board.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any other nominations for the seat of Gerardo Cavallari on the high school board? Okay, do you accept?
Yes.
Thank you. Appointment of the seat of Patricia Farrell on the high school board. And you just told me I didn't have to vote on it before. What makes it different than the other one?
You just voted on it first.
Yeah, gotta vote on it.
He's nominated. He's never voted.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
You would think I didn't do this last year. All those in favor of Gerardo having Gerardo's seat on the high school board?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Okay, and Gerardo accepts. Now we'll move on to Patricia Farrell's seat on the high school board. Any nominations?
I nominate and move Patricia Farrell for the seat of Patricia Farrell.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do you accept?
Yes.
Thank you, Patty. Okay. Wonderful. Great, let's mix it up. Gerardo, would you please chair the Ed Committee? Vinny, I'd like to keep you on the Ed Committee because I think that it's working out really well. Okay?
Cavallari proposing?
Hmm?
That was Cavallari proposing?
Yes.
Okay.
Milagros, will you chair the Policy Committee, please?
I will. Thank you.
Anthony, I think that you should stay on policy because we've been having a lot of discussions that way.
Okay,
And I
sure.
think you could do a
Thank
lot of good work there. Thank you. Patty, will you chair the Business Committee, please?
Yes.
And I would like Trustee Grasso to be with you on that committee. I will ask Gerardo to please chair the Facilities Committee again.
Yes.
And Trustee Capozio, with you, please. NISBA delegates, I believe, I'd like to see if anybody is going to attend the meetings before I pick choose that? Can we table that? And-
You can table it. Table it next year.
Okay. Number 12, I would like to be the BOCES liaison. That's a vote. Okay. Can someone nominate me for the BOCES?
I nominate Jennifer Cavalier. Wait.
Wow, you know.
Oh, yeah. I'll turn to be BOCES liaison to the budget.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Residency Committee. Trustee Cavallari, would you like to be on the Residency Committee?
Sure, yes.
Trustee Vicente, also on the Residency Committee. I'd like to appoint myself and Vice President Cavallari to Vista Teachers Aides. Oh, wait, I didn't do, appointment by school to vote for school safety teams as listed. Item number 14.
Excuse me, Madam President?
Yes.
Question.
course.
On these committees, did you point out who's chairman? Who's chairman of each of the committees? You did? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes. I can go over them again
No, that's
quickly if you'd like.
That's okay, I got you.
Okay. Item 14, appointment of school safety teams as listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, item 15, negotiating committees. This should be, like, in my opinion, the whole board should be on all of these, because it's really what it is anyway. But for formalities, I'm going to put you in President and Vice President on all of them. Does that have to be voted on? All of them. Item 16, Excellence and Equity Committee. Trustee Vicente will.
Sure.
Thank you. I move Trustee Vicente to be the board member on the Equity and Excellence Committee. Item number 16.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm going to move items number 17 through 26 as a consent agenda, so I'll give everyone a minute.
Well, I have an objection on 17C.
Okay.
I didn't hear.
I'm sorry, I have an objection on 17C, the independent auditor. He's, I'm sure, I think that company for sure has been on it for 10 years. It's the same auditor. And that's like, basically goes against best practices.
I'm going to say that I remember voting to retain them my first year on the board, so it
They've been on for
is
at least
3 years.
They've been on for at least 9 years,
Okay.
that I'm sure. And he actually confirmed that it's best practices not to have anyone beyond 3.
Like they interviewed, so.
No, it was on him.
No, I'm telling you, my first year on the
Oh,
board.
yeah, okay.
They interviewed, so that was 3 years ago, but.
That was Dean's Orchard, correct?
Yes.
No.
No. State.
Doug Angelo.
Oh, okay.
They're from upstate. I think they're from Troy, New York.
Consent agenda 17.
Okay, so I'm going to, can I amend my motion?
Yeah, so it'll be consent agenda for 17 through 26, pulling out 17C for a separate vote.
Okay. So I'm amending my motion for consent agenda 17 through 26 minus 17C.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Opposed. Oh, wait.
I took
I'm
out
so sorry.
17C.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're okay with everything
Yes, I'm
else?
so sorry, correct.
Okay, so you're
So it's
not
an aye,
opposing.
so I'm an aye.
That was just to amend it.
Yes, 17 through 26 minus 17C carries. 17C, to appoint independent auditor Dark Angelo and Company. I will poll the board. Trustee Farrell.
Yes.
Trustee Vicente.
Yes.
Trustee Cavallari.
Yes.
Trustee Benelli.
No.
Trustee Capozio.
Yes.
And I am a yes. So 17C carries. Thank you. Item number 27. I would like to appoint Trustee Benelli to this committee, please.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I will move items 28 and 29
Second.
as a consent agenda. Moved and seconded on the question.
Madam President,
Yes, Trustee Vicente.
can you please explain, or the attorney or the superintendent, how is Ms. Feiner selected to be the hearing officer for student disciplinary hearings?
It's entirely up to the board. Generally, schools designate someone. You generally designate someone, the superintendent can designate internally, or you can have an external person do it, but it's entirely up to the board whether you want to retain that person or someone else.
Okay, and where do we get this name from?
He works in about 25 school districts across the island.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said he works in about 25 school districts across the island, as here works.
Thank you. Then I have, I'm sorry.
No further questions?
Not on, is a consent agenda, you included 29 on that, Madam President?
I'm sorry.
Did you include 29?
I did.
On the consent agenda?
I did, 28 and 29.
Okay, I also have the same question as to how these individuals for partial hearing are appointed or selected to serve as a partial hearing officer.
That list comes from New York State. You accept all of the ones that may, if there's an impartial hearing, then the state selects from that rotational list, but you have to appoint all of them.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 28 and 29 carry. Thank you. I'd like to move it as a consent agenda, but for 32, I'd like to appoint Trustee Vicente to HIV. Okay, please. Thank you. I'd like to move 30 through 35 as a consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so 30 through 35 carries. Thank you, Trustee Vicente. Okay. I'm going to move the rest of the agenda, 36 through 59, as a consent agenda. Yes, David?
On 38, the dates,
30,
item 38,
38?
yeah, the meeting dates,
Yes.
all the way at the bottom section, it says building inspection, Saturday, September 30th, is that a walkthrough?
Yes, that's the one.
We're using inspection or walkthrough?
We can discuss that language. It's just been traditionally called inspection. We do kind of inspect areas.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. 36 through 58 carry. That concludes the reorganization portion of tonight's meeting. Now we're going to get into the regular business agenda. All right, we have a quorum. We have done the pledge. I need an approval of the minutes from February 28th. So moved. Moved and seconded. On the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I have a form submitted for the first comment period from Tony Pomeranz regarding school board trustee attendance. Please come to the microphone. 3 minutes.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is just a comment about school board attendance. This was brought up at the meeting in May, and your attorney, the board attorney, Mr. Shishko, answered the question. And the answer to the question was that if a trustee misses 3 meetings consecutively, the board can decide to remove that trustee. Or if a trustee is excessively absent from meetings, they can do same. So in looking at who's here this evening, it's somewhat concerning that our newest trustee is absent. And in thinking of the community and the vote that the community gave to this trustee, one would think that a trustee who is newly appointed would make it their business to be present, barring illness or death in the family. The thought is, hopefully this wasn't due to recreation or a vacation, because it's my understanding that the new trustee has children in the district, therefore has this calendar, which clearly states, was given out in September, that on July 5th, the Board of Education has their reorg meeting, which is truly the most important meeting of the year, when all of these decisions are being made, and the newest trustee, one would think, would certainly want to be present for that. So if it's a recreation or vacation, and you're running for the school board, why not be available to attend this meeting? It says volumes to me that our community, and particularly our kids in the community, are not being respected. Also, the appointments that were made, 2 of them were made to a trustee who has not been sworn in. So I ask your attorney, is that legal? Number 7 and number 10.
The trustees have 30 days to be sworn.
But can the appointment be made tonight? Okay. Well, that's comforting to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a trustee, can I make a comment? I think that's in the policy that they can't ask questions, but a trustee can ask a question, can make a comment comment or question. Excuse me. I spoke to I only know Anthony Grosso for his campaign and meet the candidates tonight, and I actually had an opportunity to speak to him, and he actually had made plans many months before the election, well, it was in February, a European vacation, so I see no fault on his end to try to meet the wants and desires of the community. So I think it's fair to say that, yeah, he had a justified reason, but this ain't tonight. He had a European trip planned since 7 months ago, in February. That's it.
Thank you, Anthony. I don't think we need to tell him his personal business. I don't think. My opinion. He's not here, and we're fine with it seems, so. Anyway. Guys, sorry, I missed correspondence again. You'd think I hadn't done this before. Any correspondence, Madam Clerk?
Email correspondence was received from Diane Control.
Thank you very much. Report of the superintendent, Judith.
Good evening. Welcome to the first business meeting of the 2023-2024 school year. Earlier tonight, just now, the board proceeded with their annual reorganization meeting. I'd like to congratulate the new board officers, and I look forward to the work of the board committees in the new year. We began our summer programs this week for special education, English language learners, summer enrichment and academics, and our summer recreation program. We really enjoy seeing our students in the month of July for these enrichment programs. Summer work is underway in the buildings, including our annual cleaning and refurbishments. And all 4 of the buildings received new signage in the front of each school, and upgrades to play areas that were set for last year are in the process of being installed on site. The Board of Education was recently provided with a report on end-of-year data by Ms. McIntosh. We are continuing our efforts to ensure that students are reading on grade level and to address the impact of the pandemic on student achievement. Based on our NWA data, our students continue to perform at or above the national norm scores for both reading and math. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. LaRocca. Education Committee. So, Vice President Cavallari, would you please give the committee report?
I'm doing this. I'd like to move appointment of part-time speech teacher to appoint Brittany Penna as a part-time speech teacher on step 1MA listed in motion prorated for the number of hours worked effective August 31st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, unless sooner terminated.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Penna, are you here today?
Yeah. I'd like to move item 2, appointment of reading teacher, to appoint Catherine C. Butler as reading teacher on step 1MA plus 30 as listed in the motion on 4 years probation commencing on August 31st, 2023 and expiring on August 30th, 2027. See note below.
Okay. Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Butler, are you in attendance this evening? Welcome aboard.
I'd like to move item 3, appointment of leave replacement teacher, to appoint Serena Zingal as a leave replacement library media specialist on step 1A as listed in the motion effective September 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, unless sooner terminated.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to move line item 4, appointment of teaching assistants, to appoint Yashuda Ali as teaching assistant on step 1, same assigned to James A. Diva School, as listed in the motion on 4 years probation commencing on August 31st, 2023 and expiring August 30th, 2027 in accordance with the Vista TA contract and effect of date employment, and as to appoint Nicolette Hernandez as teaching assistant at step 1 assigned to James David D. Schools as listed in the motion on 4 years probation commencing on August 31st, 2023 and expiring August 30th, 2027 in accordance with the Vista TA contract effect on the date of employment.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to move line item 5, memorandum of agreement, registered nurse. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby ratifies the attachment memorandum of agreement with the Valley Street Teachers Association registered nurse unit for the term of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2026.
Second. Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to move E1 through
20
14.
or 14?
As a consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 1 to 14 carries.
That concludes the education.
Thank you. Business Committee, Trustee Farrell.
Good evening, everyone. I move item 1, appointment of a 12-month typist clerks, to appoint Carmela Sorelli as a 12-month typist clerk effective July 6, 2023 on step 2.5 as listed in the motion in accordance with the board VSTA EOP contract in effect on the date of employment. And I move to appoint Joanna Lynch as a 12-month typist clerk effective July 6, 2023 on step 1 as listed in the motion in accordance with the board VSTA EOP contract in effect on the date of employment.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, appointment of an 11-month typist clerk. I move to appoint Janice Bontempo as an 11-month typist clerk effective July 6, 2023 on step 2.5 as listed in the motion in accordance with the Board Vista EOP contract in effect on the date of employment.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question.
Madam President,
Yes, Trustee Bissette.
why 11 months? Not 12 or 10?
That's a school main office is an 11-month position. If they're in the central office, it's a 12-month position.
Understood, thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move item 3, facilities stipend. Resolve that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the payment of a stipend in the amount of $150 per day to Anthony Crisco on an as-needed basis to oversee the district's facilities department during the 2023-2024 school year.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I move item G1 through 7 as a consent agenda.
Second. Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, consent agenda carries.
And that concludes the business committee report for this evening.
Thank you. Well, Trustee Vicente, I'm sure you're looking forward to the policy committee, which I'm looking forward to hearing a report on, as well as facilities and committee of the whole. Vice President Cavalieri, committee of the whole consent.
We have a consent.
Consent.
Yep. Consent. K1 through 7.
Second.
Moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda carries. I have two. Okay.
Report of the attorney.
Report of the attorney. Thank you, Vice President.
Thank you. Tonight I'll provide the district clerk with the report regarding the United States District Court case in which our firm successfully defended a school district that concluded a Title IX investigation as unfounded. The decision of the school district was challenged, and the court ruled that the district followed its own internal procedures for investigating Title IX investigations, and as a result, the case was dismissed.
Thank you, Mr. Shushka. Anything to report at the high school level?
No, high school meeting, the high school will have the reorganization meeting next Tuesday.
Thank you, Patty. Any old business this evening?
Yes.
Trustee Banana.
Last month, during the June, we were asked to vote for a resolution that would allow for the transfer of unspent monies into 7 different reserve funds. And it says that authority will be given up until June 30th, 2023. So that expired, right? But I've noticed, I went back several years, and I see that that's basically the protocol. The board votes for it, but the monies don't get transferred until months later. So I guess the wrinkle is where the board is prohibited to transfer funds from one year to the next if it exceeds 4%. So I think this board has been doing, and many other boards, they just transfer those funds to these reserve funds. But 2 questions. One, Chris, am I correct on this? That, you know, if we voted on the resolution to transfer the funds and it stipulates in that resolution which was voted on, it expires June 30th. So how do we have the authority to actually transfer those funds at a later date? That's the expiration. And the second question is, maybe this is to Antoine, Assistant Superintendent Antoine. If we have monies left over, isn't it another option to put that money to pay down the debt so the families of District 13, as well as the other residents, don't have to pay as much as next year budget? In other words, if there's monies left over, like several million, I think like 2 years ago we had 5.1 million left, and we put in reserve fund. Couldn't we just pay down the debt as an alternative to put it in the reserve funds?
Did you want me to respond to that here or in executive session? It's
Well,
legal advice.
Well, the first one is not. How does that fall under an executive session?
Legal advice?
I'm sorry?
Here,
Legal advice.
I'm happy to answer the question. It's just, I usually would do that in executive session.
We'll just take this out. Yeah, that's like kind of a, that's kind of strange. So you're saying as an overall OML issue, that gets discussed at executive session?
It's up to the board. If the board asks me to give advice in public, then it's not privileged or confidential.
Can I ask you a general question then? Is a general question okay? Generally, under New York State education law, if a resolution has an expiration date, doesn't that resolution become null and void?
It's the same, I have the same response. Do you want me to give the advice in public or in the executive session?
I guess Madam President can tell us. I mean, I don't know.
I could pull the board.
Okay, let's go with the rule of the board.
Would you like Chris to respond to this here or in executive? Here, Patty.
If it's legal advice, executive.
Milagros.
Legal advice.
Vice President Cavalier.
Legal advice, exactly.
Trustee Composer.
Executive.
And I agree that legal advice is executive.
And I say no, because I don't think it really falls under legal advice.
Okay.
I mean, it's legal advice for, you know, to be not done in the
You've
executive
already
session.
stated the specificity
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of the reason.
No? Are you moving into executive session?
So the other, so is the second part
Yeah, so you
also?
want your answer right now?
No, so is the second part also falls under, I think it's more Assistant Superintendent Antoine.
Provided he has the information readily available. that you're
Okay, so let me
requesting.
just ask, so if there are monies available, is it the option of, instead of putting in the reserve funds, can we use those monies to pay down the debt? So the following year, the tax burden is not as great for the families and the other residents in District 13.
I also think Judith should be.
Oh, I'm sorry,
able to
Superintendent
respond to
Judith.
this.
Yes, well, I'm just, because he's the business agent, not business
She's
superintendent.
the
Yeah, but-
superintendent of the
Okay,
district.
superintendent, or either one, doesn't really matter, the question is the same.
It does matter though.
Okay, it does matter, I agree.
I do believe, yes, that's money that could be returned to the community.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, to pay down the debt.
To offset the tax levy.
Right. So we either can put the money in the reserve fund, or can we also put that, or can we put the money to pay down debt? Because in the
You
past, we
can put
go.
it to offset the tax levy.
Mhm.
If that's what you mean by pay down debt.
Madam
Correct.
President,
Yes.
can I get some clarification? Isn't that what we do? Isn't that how we break down
The budget.
That would formulate a budget?
Yeah.
I think so.
So, I'm not, I'm confused to your question, trustee Benel.
The reserve funds, we have typically leftover funds from the current school year, and we're prohibited going, I think it's 4%.
No, I understand the numbers, but I'm not understanding your question.
So instead of putting millions of dollars in the reserve
We
fund.
do that every year.
Okay, so to a certain extent we do. My suggestion, what I'm bringing up is different, is that I'm saying instead of putting monies into the reserve funds, take those dollars and pay off our debt, which we have not
I
done.
think something, my opinion, I understand what you're saying. I think something like that is premature, given we don't know what the costs are gonna be. It's always an estimate and an educated guesstimate of what the costs are gonna be on a year-to-year basis.
That's
So then
correct.
if you're giving money back and then you have to raise it the next year, either way, like one year you're the heroes, the next year you're the bounding amount of the issue, like.
Back in, I do recall, maybe Mr. Antoine remembers, I asked Mr. Antoine during the May meeting, might have been April, how much money, is it safe to say we have 500,000? And he answered, it's safe to say 700,000 at that time. I know the books aren't closed yet, the books closed in September or October, but the estimate he gave us was...
That was the money for the capital reserve. We did not indicate any amount because we didn't have an idea of what the remaining funds would be. And I just remind the board that last year we were not able to fund the reserves at all due to the price increases. So as soon as Mr. Antoine and I do the end of year reports, as we stated earlier, we will get that information to the board about what's even available, if any is available. But I think to answer your question, the original question, you can fund the reserves or you can offset the tax levy.
Okay, thank you.
Any other old business? New business. I want to discuss the Area 11 Director position that was formerly, that is being vacated by B.A. Schoen, our representative, and Ms. Desiree is on the ballot to be nominated as the Area 11 Director. I'm in support of her.
I second that.
Patty?
Yes.
Dora?
Yes.
Okay. Anthony?
Yes.
Vinnie?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, obviously. So, I resolve the Valley Stream Union Free School District Board of Education nominates Ms. Shamice P. Desiree for the position of Area 11 Director of the New York State School Boards Association Board of Directors for the term July 4th, 2024 to June 30th, 2026, and authorizes the district clerk to send the nomination on behalf of the board.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Best of luck, Ms. Desiree. Next. Another resolution. I move Board of Education received and considered a transportation appeal from the parents of a student listed in confidential Schedule A. Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby denies the transportation appeal and authorizes the district clerk to issue a decision letter to the parents on behalf of the Board of Education.
Second.
Moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other new business this evening? Anthony, do you want to make a motion to go into executive session to have your question answered?
We can do it next time. There's no need
You want to table it?
We can table it to next month. I don't want to hold,
We could put it on
there's
the
no need to
agenda
hold
for
over,
next
because we have time. The books aren't closed till October, I think?
Or about October.
Yes, so there's no rush.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. Ms. Pomerantz, you checked off both.
I didn't know when you were going to do it. So I.
You would not like to speak again?
Not at all. Thank you.
Okay, just checking. All right, I think that about wraps it up, everybody. I need a motion to adjourn, please.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved and seconded. On the question. I just want to thank everybody. It's really an honor that you put me up again. Like, I don't know, I feel special. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. This evening's meeting is adjourned. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy your summer. Stay cool.